What is happening, guys? It's your boy TC back with another video. So I hope you all had a happy new year, good Christmas. So it's a new year and we'll certainly be pushing on the channel. So thanks to everyone who supported me in the last year. It's been a great year, I should say. But let's jump straight into yesterday's match. So that was the game against West Brom. We obviously played away in old red kit for the first time in 40 years, which looked absolutely peculiar. It looked weird, but we last obviously used the red shorts about 40 years ago. So again, yeah, it was a bit weird. I wasn't too keen on the kit itself. I wanted to revert back to the white shorts. But that's another talking matter for another day. Talking about the match itself, so we'll start with the team selection. So obviously Wenger made one change to the team that previously went out. In goal we had Petr Cech, at the back with Callum Chambers. We also had Koscielny as well as Mustafi. The left wing back was in the form of Kolasinac and the right wing back was in the form of Hector Bellerin. In the middle we had Xhaka and Jack Wilshere, so that partnership has certainly been impressive. Up top we had Iwobi as well as Alexis and Lacazette, who didn't actually get taken off in the whole game, so that was absolutely a first in a while. I was actually quite happy for Lacazette for not being taken off. But let's talk about the match briefly. So if I do seem a bit lethargic, New Year's Eve got the best of me last night. I'm suffering from a slight hangover, but it's only a minute one, so we'll get this video out of the way. So basically yesterday we ended up drawing. As you all know, the score was 1-1. It was a terrible result in my opinion. We failed yet again to break down a team that's way lesser than us in terms of attacking options, defensive, just basically a team that's less, that's way below us. West Brom were at the foot of the table before we obviously kicked off. We all know that they do have a new manager in place, so Alan Pardew has gone in there and sort of reinvigorated the team, but they certainly haven't had a win in the Premier League since August, so their form going into this game was certainly terrible. Our form wasn't the best, but we obviously clinched the win last time we went out. But yeah, again, as I said, we've obviously failed to break down West Brom. We should have scored more than the one goal. Of course, the goal came courtesy of Alexis Sánchez via a massive deflection by the edge of the box. It was a free kick. But apart from that goal, we certainly weren't able to deal with West Brom overall. They were certainly have a lot of joy down the right-hand side, or their right-hand side, our left-hand side. And it didn't get any better throughout the whole game. Matty Phillips, who's West Brom's player, was having a great time down the right-hand side. And he was getting a lot of crosses in. So prior to the game starting, actually, we could see Petr Cech actually warming up. And part of his warm-up was actually catching crosses and getting, making sure that he will be able to deal with the crosses coming in. And yeah, we did certainly receive a lot of crosses throughout the whole game, but we were certainly poor. We were very, very poor in terms of our dead ball situation, so we found ourselves taking a lot of corners and basically a lot of dead balls in terms of free kicks, and those balls going into the box, or the delivery itself, was certainly poor. And I wasn't really happy at all in terms of how we actually performed. Of course, Lacazette had the full 90 minutes. He wasn't able to actually cap himself a goal on the day, but it did look impressive. He was linking up front, creating spaces, running into the right channels. But one player I wasn't actually impressed with in terms of the attacking three was Alex Iwobi. So Alex Iwobi has been poor for a number of weeks now. I don't know why Wenger keeps insisting on actually picking him. Again, yesterday he was a passenger. In the previous game that he did play, which was the game before the Palace game, I did mention that he was basically a passenger in the game. He wasn't contributing that much. He was just there, and he seems rushed all the time. Everything seems rushed. There's no thought in terms of what he does. Well, it looks like there's no thought in terms of what he does. All he wants to do is pass the ball sideways, backwards, and move on. And I really wasn't impressed with him. The middle of the park, Jack Wilshere, this is the first game he's actually been certainly poor in my opinion. He wasn't really poor. He was certainly trying in comparison to his other teammates. Xhaka had a terrible game again in my opinion. The defence, we obviously saw Koscielny hobble off. He'd picked up a minor injury as far as I'm aware. Obviously we saw him getting replaced by Mertesacker. But yeah, again, the defence, they held up all right. Of course, Callum Chambers ended up conceding that particular penalty. So let's talk about the referee. The referee was extremely poor in my opinion. That was not a penalty. A lot of people agree, a lot of fans agree, a lot of pundits out there definitely agree in terms of the fact that that certainly wasn't a penalty. He was certainly adjusting his body shape, making sure he's fully balanced, and obviously Gibbs himself wasn't appealing for that particular penalty. it. No West Brom players were certainly appealing for a penalty, and Mike Dean, being Mike Dean, certainly wanted to give a penalty and wanted to have a standout moment within the game, and he certainly awarded West Brom the penalty. Of course, they did convert that particular penalty, and the final result was 1-1. So again, Mike Dean was extremely poor. It's very, very poor decision making. I certainly can't wait for the video referee to be introduced within the Premier League itself. It will certainly help us, or other teams really, in similar situations like the one we experienced yesterday, in terms of actually the decision going the wrong way. So in terms of going forward, my main concern was there was a hell of a lack of creativity. There was no creativity going forward. Of course, on a good day, Jack Wilshere will certainly make things tick over. He is very creative if we are moving forward. But based on the role he is actually currently playing, he's certainly deployed deeper within the pitch itself. So he has no effect in the final third of the pitch. If so, his effect is very, very minimal. But the point I'm leading up to here is we definitely missed Mesut Ozil. So apparently he had a slight knee injury, but that's something I certainly will need to see as time goes on, based on the fact that we are approaching January. Well, we are in January now, and the transfer window is certainly open. We do know the current situation based on the fact that his contract's up for renewal, and if the club are not going to renew his particular contract, or if he's going to opt into not renewing his contract, the club as a business will certainly look to sell him to another team. So we saw a similar situation with Virgil van Dijk. He was left out from the previous game for Southampton prior to the announcement of his move being made. So I'm hoping this is not the situation, because as it stands yesterday, you could clearly see that we certainly missed Mesut Ozil going forward. There was no creativity. People weren't linking up well. So fingers crossed he's still at the club, and we can certainly still rely on his services. But we'll wait and see. January is going to be a very, very long month for a lot of us. But as usual, guys, please do let me know what you think in the comments below. If you are watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do make sure that you do hit that subscribe button. So once again, guys, it's your boy TC from I'm Gonna Talk TV, and I'm out.